Okay, folks, we are here at Rolling Heights Park, and standing in line. They're standing in line for something. What's in those bottles that everybody's standing in line? Okay, good stuff. A little moonshine, a little white lightning. Okay.
Am I supposed to sign or do something? I think I'm going to run and get Allison.
Is it true you sign in, you get a free T-shirt?
I don't know about the free T-shirt.
Oh.
There is a T-shirt. If you haven't gotten your T-shirt.
Okay. But I have to sign in first?
No.
No, I don't have to sign in first. Okay. Okay, young lady said that you are the T-shirt guru. Said I didn't have to sign in. I just had to come over and get one.
Hey, I'm just coming to steal one.
Come to steal one. Oh.
Got one in years, so.
Yeah. Have they got one big enough? 3X.
Finally found one.
I think I can, maybe a 2X.
We're down to odd size.
Odd sizes for all the odd people, right? Okay. Go for it. Hey, Sean, checking in on you. What's up?
Welcome. Thank
I
you
was
for
told
coming out.
there's
We got
going to
the
be
most important print media in Rolling Heights right
that,
here.
right? Yeah, you know
Check
that.
that out.
Keeping up on it here.
You following what's going on?
Yeah, I'm trying to here. So what's the main squeeze for today? What you got a good
the goal
turnout
today is we're here to talk to our teachers. You know, as many people know, we are in the middle of a contract
negotiations. I've heard a little bit about that.
District, and this is a way for the association to get in contact with our teachers and leave them feeling informed and prepared for what's ahead next fall.
Okay.
We are still a long ways away from a possible work stoppage. We think it's important that our teachers understand what's at stake and what's to come. Also, we want to let the board know that we're a united bunch of people, and that we're not going away. We're gonna stay here until the problems of our district are fixed.
Oh, good. We hope to see that happen. And do you think the demise of fructose is the cure-all to all problems?
I don't think it's a cure-all at all. I don't, because remember, there are still a lot of the same board members who chose to appoint Mr. Fructose who are still on that board. And there are a lot of decisions that don't necessarily involve the superintendent that are being made by the board. The board is directly responsible for parking. Understand that. It is the board at the end of the day.
Well, I was under the impression, as a lot of us common folk are, that the district superintendent, so forth, and his crew does quote the negotiations, and
directed by the school board.
Directed by the school board.
So when you see if you take a look at agenda items at a school board meeting, it'll say discussions pursuant to contract negotiations between the Association of Rolling Educators and CSEA.
Okay.
It is within those closed session meetings that the board is giving direction to the cabinet of the school board to then bargain with the teachers and the classified staff who still are who are undergoing negotiations as well. They still not settled.
Okay, well, something I've done, the Gazette has done a little research and found out that California has slipped to like 49th in per student funding in the entire country, and that supposedly the national average is $11,800 something, and we're at $8,358.
And the good thing is that we have a governor in office right now who's looking to fix it, and not actually looking to fix it, is fixing it. We are currently in a process of changing from an old funding formula to what's called the new local control funding formula. This is one of the better changes in education that have taken place.
But by the same token, you have to have the funds to fund.
Yeah,
I mean, 8,000 versus 11,000. We're kind of looking.
And the governor's updated budget was an additional $2 billion was added to education in that budget than even originally planned.
Well,
so the money is there. The money is there. This is not a choice about being able to afford it or not. It's a choice about are they willing to? It's not a choice if they can't.
Issue too.
It's a willingness choice.
And they keep saying they run out of money, and then they keep doubling their reserves. So it's like,
and then in the keep the Sacramento crew from raiding the general fund and doing the manipulations.
Well, they don't raise the general fund. Sacramento doesn't. I mean,
you should heard some of the Kurt Hagman persons and so forth, how they manipulated the funding for the schools, and that we're going to give them this amount of money from the gambling / lottery situation, but we take it out.
Yeah.
The
lottery was a scam.
Yeah.
But we said the lottery was a scam when it went in. We said they're just going to turn around and backfill it.
Where are the umbrellas?
The bigger question, I think, is this. Okay, taxpayers pay money, right? Okay.
Correct.
I'm a taxpayer, you're a taxpayer, we pay money, we expect that money to be spent at the schools. That money has been sitting there, and we've been telling the same story for 2 years now because the same story's happened for 2 years. It is still sitting in a massive reserve at the district office. At the same time, there's been an increase in number of combination classes in our district. One teacher teaching two grade levels at exactly the same time, which is not good for students. We're trying to bring back a music program that had been cut prior to the...
I think it just arrived. The music program just arrived here. Okay.
You have that issue. The number of counselors, you've been at a lot of the same community meetings I have. You've heard the community talk about things like wanting to increase the number of counselors that we have at the different school sites. That's what we're bargaining for. A lot of people want to frame this as just about teachers' pay raises and benefits, and that's a portion of it. Don't get me wrong, that's a portion of it. Inflation has been happening, and our pay has been stagnant. So that is an issue. But there are other things at stake too. Combination classes, counselors, music teachers, all of these other things.
Well, let me ask you a question to that point. Isn't that why we have a school board and superintendent to see that hopefully that we're as good as we can be? Where are they on making sure that all this and the money is spent wisely and playing catch up?
We think that the community spoke to that in the last election when they elected 2 more school board members. But you got to remember, there's 5 board members. Okay, the board only changed by 2. There are still 3 board members who have been on that board now for a while. And a lot of the votes, if you go back and look at the votes that have taken place, a lot of those votes were 5-0. Okay, so a change of 2 board members has not necessarily changed the complete dynamic of the school board yet. The answer is, I think the community is speaking. I'm not sure if they're hearing.
Well, to that point, I would like to bring to your attention, if you know of John Grant and David Martinez and I tried to go to the last board meeting of the PTA at the school district, and it was canceled, but failure to communicate, and we've been trying to get in contact with Alex.
Alex is the president.
Yeah, which hasn't been returning calls. So there's this question, are the parents really participating? And that's where we get the image that the... Yeah. Okay. Get going. Get going.
Hey, thank you.
All right.
I'll be
Thanks.
happy to talk to you after.
Sure.
Even at a high school graduation, I think we need to have a riot to have this much. But no, the biggest menace to public safety in the community is not a motorcycle gang. It's a bunch of teachers who show up in a park to ask for a better contract.
Tell them it like it is.
Here, folks. But there are union brothers and sisters too, so a shout out to them. They're just told to show up here because somebody went crazy downtown, which is what we're used to here in our district. Now, if you look back, you think you guys are out here on a Monday, the last day of school, and you guys show the dedication to show up here and say what we're looking for is parity. A district that in the middle of the worst financial crisis since the Great Depression was able to double their reserves from $28 to $52 million, and then have the audacity to come back and say, we don't have the funds to fix any of this, and we don't even know how to calculate the funds anyway. We're still using the old math. And you guys have come out and you've said, no, we're not putting up with that anymore. And selling out board, we're going to have to take the bond, the next bond, the 4th bond that nobody knows will be coming. We'll have to be building a new office for us to have board meetings at, because we keep breaking the fire rules every month with our sellout crowds that you guys have been showing commitment to. And that's, I got to tell you, it's so encouraging when you sit there and go, hey, it's hot, people are tired, who will show up? And we come out here and there's no room to park anywhere, and people are out at the ice cream man, they brought their kids and say, you know what, yeah, we're going to have a rally here, we're going to turn it into a family event. And I am so honored to sit there and say, this is the last day I get to address you as president. All right, that's it. I go back to the classroom really Monday. I start teaching summer school on Monday, and I'm really excited about that on so many levels, but I feel like we have a sense of unfinished business. And in the end of the day, it doesn't matter who is up here yapping their jaws about being the president. It's the work that's done in the classroom by you and the commitment you show up and say, we're not putting up with this anymore. You guys are heroes. You guys are amazing. And as we move forward into the summer and the district thinks we're going to somehow lose steam. Watching you guys today, I know that's not the case, and we're going to be continuing this. Now, we are in the process of impasse. If you look it back, we demanded the bargain way back in September. We sunshine a proposal. The district, perhaps because we used 3-syllable words, didn't understand the proposal. I don't know. I'm not an expert in that end. I just do my job. But here we are. We've had 3 impasse mediation sessions. We're headed for a 4th on July 8th. And all I will say is that everything that has taken place so far, what we have done is maximize the opportunity we have to fight this battle on our own terms. And we're not going to agonize, we're going to organize. We're not going to get flustered. We're going to take a real concerted effort and move forward with 775 voices unified as one. Now, as I turn this over, who's next? Let me just say, when you know you're sitting there, you have unfinished business, and you're not sure what's going to happen when you're gone, in so many ways, I feel like a kid on the 4th of July who's lit off a firecracker, and I get to go sit on the curb and watch the fuse burn. That fuse is our next president, Mr. Shea. I want to turn it over to him right now.
Spinning around here, spinning around.
All right, I'm sorry. This gap is too much. I'm going to walk out in the sun. Can we bring everybody up a little bit closer? I swear, I promise this thing is only going to go about another 10 or 15 minutes. We got to bring it closer. Maybe while we're doing it, we'll do an ARE chant, or we are one.
And then he's popping free ice cream for everybody. Latest rumor.
We are one. We are one. We are one. We are one.
Okay.
We are one.
Everybody took a shower this morning. Get close there. Not to worry.
Get everybody out here. You know,
yeah.
For teachers, this is the toughest week of the year, probably. You know, we're packing up our rooms. We're saying goodbye to our kids. But as John said, there still is that sense of unfinished business. But before we talk about the unfinished business, this has been an amazing year working with AREF. We have accomplished a lot. A year ago at this time, a superintendent who has never been in the classroom was appointed. And we stood up and said, we're not going to take that. We're going to organize. We're going to work together, and we're going to change that. And we started by changing the school board. Now, thanks to you guys, last November, we elected Angelina Pride and Lynn Ebbingkamp to the school board. I think we need to give them a round of applause. Now, remember, they're 5 board members. There are only 2. Now, if you do the math, there's still 3 more that we need to have our focus on as well. But your work in that election is already making a difference. The communication with the school board, at least having a voice inside that closed session. Okay, at least they're communicating our side and our point of view in that closed session, and that's what we want. Okay, that's why we elected them, to have that voice. Okay, then if you look, you fast forward to the spring, and the school board finally steps up, and a decision is made for a change in leadership. So starting next fall, there will be a new superintendent of this school district, and that I think we need to applaud for. While there's definitely unfinished business, I think it's important to step back and say, what have we accomplished? What have we done? And that's amazing work. Now, as John said, we are currently going into our 4th day of mediation on July 8th. We are at the whim of the mediator. It is the mediator who will then decide if she is either going to certify us for fact-finding or if she's going to make us continue to meet. Now, once the mediator certifies us for fact-finding, she is saying that the mediation process has failed. Now we go on to the next step. So what does fact-finding look like? Fact-finding is a panel of 3, I don't know if experts are the right words, but 3 individuals. One individual is chosen by the association. The other individual is chosen by the district, and then there is a state-appointed neutral third party. Now, at fact-finding, which we've got to make clear, doesn't really have to do a whole lot with facts. It has to do a whole lot with power and showing power.
But at that hearing,